Hello everyone, this is Garrett204 here, and welcome back to another episode of Let's Build Our World War II German U-Boat Base. In this episode, we're going to be continuing work on the U-Boat pens, as well as building some of the surrounding areas around it, really kind of getting a good footprint for this base, which is always awesome. Now, right here, we are working on the little dock extension that pops off from the actual U-Boat pen, and this is where I imagine U-boats would come in and maybe dock up to unload crew and celebrate and stuff like that, as you see in some movies and media around. But I also went ahead and built a little crane here, which we'll be using quite a bit through the rest of this build. Kind of just a light lift crane, not really any of the heavy cranes and stuff like that you'd see on dry docks and stuff. But this right here is a extension, a little bit of a kind of dock platform, if you want to say, that sticks out. And this can be kind of a freight hub for the most part. So we're going to have a lot of train tracks kind of coming into this area. A lot of trains themselves, cargo, stuff like that. I do want to actually build a German freighter from the time period and have that docked up alongside these warehouses. I think that would look really cool. So just a lot of stuff to come with this one. Just one of our initial starts here to kind of get an idea of how I want to go about building these docks and these platforms that are going to be sticking out here. And this pretty much areas, or this footage really is just covering building up those warehouses in this area. After finishing up the dock area, I decided, you know what, we need to have a few more patrol boats and stuff like that, something that would be safeguarding the harbor and protecting from, submarines or enemy ships that may try to enter, just kind of saboteurs or something. And I went ahead and built this ship right here, which I actually found online a model kit of. It's called the Kriegsfisch Cutter, which I think roughly translates to Navy patrol boat. It's a very simple ship that has, I believe, a 20mm gun on it, and then it also has a 37mm, so really kind of the same armaments that of the U-boats. But yeah, it came out really good, and is an awesome little ship to have around our base. It's just kind of just a simple patrol boat. It works really well for what it's what I wanted it to. And then I also went ahead and built the S100 series. These right here is known as the Schnell boats, which were their fast motor torpedo boats that the Kriegsmarine built. They built quite a few of these, but the S100 was kind of the pinnacle design of it. Had pretty extensive armament on it, I believe 2 37mm and a dual 20mm autocannon on it. So it did have quite a good pack-a-punch, as well as the torpedoes and possible depth charges and mines it could carry. But it's a really cool looking boat, and this one right here is just kind of the basic standard version. There were, I think, 1 or 2 versions that did actually have a quad flak verleen on it, so that's also very cool. But yeah, just a perfect little ship here to fill in our areas around the harbor and stuff like that. Now, after that's all done, I did do some work here on the actual U-boat pens themselves, so just kind of getting the outside structure built and all that, with those smokestacks there. That's supposed to be the boiler room. I couldn't think of the name there for a second, but that's going to be the boiler room there, and you can see some of the work inside here for some of the mechanisms and stuff like that. For what this area will later be the area where they actually lift the U-boats out of the water, and basically are based off of the Laureate U-boat pens. So very cool stuff with that. Just kind of working on some of those mechanisms, getting those the back built up, the roofs on it, and just kind of starting to establish this area pretty well. I think the back of this U-boat pen looks pretty decent. It's supposed to be pretty bare bones, as these bunkers were not anything fantastic, but it does look pretty good. And this right here is my start here on actually some of the interior. Now, it's a little dark, I know, but hopefully you can see all right in here. But basically what I'm doing here is just kind of designing the general design for these kind of front wall facing walls, and underneath that is where those workshops and all that are going to be located. Stuff that would be working on the U-boats, so different shops and facilities and all that. And this right here is actually work on one of the first facilities, which is going to be one of my metal fabrication facilities, or kind of like a sheet metal shop. So this does a lot of the metal fabbing, and which is really nice is because I actually worked, my first job in the Air Force was actually as a sheet metal, or basically a structures mechanic. So I was able to incorporate a lot of machines that I was familiar with and worked on. and it was pretty cool. And then over here we also have the engine shop, so went ahead and just built up some of the U-Boat engines. So we have the diesel engines in the back there, and we also build up a electric engine right there based off of all the real U-Boat designs. But that's going to wrap up this time lapse. So if you all enjoy the cinematic, and I'll see you guys soon. And with that, guys, that's going to wrap up everything I have here for episode 2 of this series. Hopefully you all did enjoy it and look forward to the continuation of the series and kind of get an idea of the direction I'm trying to go with this. A lot of really good progress made on the interior, as well as the docks and kind of the areas we're going to be expanding to the base to include some other cool ships and stuff like that. But yeah, really good progress made, and looking forward to the next episode, which should be out here in the next couple weeks. As always, if you do enjoy this video, definitely be sure to leave a like, as it definitely helps with the YouTube algorithm. Like, comment, subscribe. Really do appreciate it, and so far your guys' support has been really great on the first episode, so look forward to carrying that momentum over into the second. With that, though, thank you guys all so much for watching. This has been Gear 204, and I'll see you guys next time.